Okay? So this is Daddy's way. Okay? This is the modified Daddy's way. So it all depends on if you want to split it up, you can split that up as well too. So now I'm going to add 250 plus 225, 475. So that's where we are with that. That's where we are with that. Okay? And now I'm going to do one other way. Okay? The third way I'm going to do, I call it a Bojangles Big Box. Okay? Now, I'm not going to do lattice. I'm not going to do lattice, but I'd rather do the Bojangles Big Box. And the way the Bojangles Big Box goes, you're going to start off with a box. And you're going to set it up just like a window, like so. And what am I going to do right here? I'm going to break this down into 20 plus 5. That's what's going to go on the top. 20 plus 5. So basically this is a mini expanded form. We've been talking about expanded form. So this is a mini expanded form right here. On the other side, I have 10 plus 9. Guess what, folks? That's what we have here, the 10 plus the 9. And I'm showing you a variety of ways, and you have to choose which way is going to be best for you. You have to choose which way is going to be best for you. Now, what's going to happen here? The 10, we're still multiplying this right here. So now I have 10 times 5, which is 50. Why? Because I can also say 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. And I just added 1 0. That's all we're doing in the Bojangles Big Box. The other one right here, we got 10 times 20. Most of you know this as 200. You can also say 2 times 1, which is 2. And you got 1, 2 zeros, however you want to look at it. Here in this box right here, I have 9 times 2, which is 18. And I add 1 0. And in my last box, 9 times 5 is 45. And some of you ask, Mr. John, why you call it Bojangles Big Box? Because I like to eat chickens from Bojangles. And at Bojangles, guess what? When you get that big box, usually a lot of things coming in. You got your fixings, as they call it, whether it's your mac and cheese, your dirty rice, whatever you want to call it, is one section. You got them Bo biscuits or them cheese biscuits in another section. Then, of course, you got to have a section for the chicken. And then another section, you get your dessert with your little blueberry Bo biscuits. Whatever it is, hey, it's a Bojangles Big Box. It's always a mix of things. So guess what we got to do? Now we have to add. That's our theme when it comes to this multiplication here, folks. We are going to add. Because here, what do we do here? We added here. What do we do here? We added here. Okay? And we add it all through here. So that's the key thing with multiplication. With multiplication, you have to continue to add. So right here, I'm going to line everything up. 200 plus 50 plus 180 plus 45. No particular order, but watch the magic. 0, 0, 0 is going to be 5. That's 8 plus 5 plus 4, that's 9 plus 8, that's 17. That's 5. That's 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry my 1 and add it back. That's why I messed up at. Sorry about that, folks. That's 180. And so that's 17. Carry my 1 up here. In fact, I can put it right here, plus the 1 right here. So what is that going to be? That's 2 plus 1 plus 1. That'll give us 475. 475. Hey, it works, folks. If you can't tell what I'm doing right now, all I'm doing is multiplying, showing you 3 ways to do multiplication, okay? All we're doing is 2-digit multiplication. 2-digit multiplication. I call this first right here Daddy's way. Why do I call it Daddy's way? Because this is the way my daddy taught me, this is the way his daddy taught him, and this is the way his daddy's taught him, okay? Or I call it the traditional way. This next one, I call it a modified Daddy's way. It's the same thing as Daddy's way, but guess what? We just split them up. And then this one right here, I call the Bojangles Big Box. The Bojangles Big Box. Hey, whatever you want, whichever you use, I'm going to give you 3 ways to work with it tonight. So it's entirely up to you what you feel most comfortable with. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and put it in the chat right now. If you have any questions or concerns, put that in the chat for me right now. All right. Let's try it again. We'll try another problem right now. All right, let's see here. This time we'll go up a little bit. 83 times 26. 83 times 26. 83 times 26. 83 times 26. All right, what's going to happen right here? I'm going to go the traditional way, which I call Daddy's way. 83 times 26. Okay, we'll come here again. 83 times 20 plus 83 times 6. And then the last one I'm going to do, set it up like this. In my Bojangles Big Box. So you have to decide which way is going to be best for you. Which way is going to be best for you. All right, I want to try the traditional way first. I'm going to try the traditional way first. What we got here is 6 times 3. Uh-oh. I don't know my 6s very well, folks. I don't know my 6s very well. So what I'm going to do to help me out real quick, I'm going to make my pick and choose chart for my 6. What is the pick and choose chart? Just writing my multiplications down. I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I put an X that stands for multiplication. This first number that I put up here is called a factor. And I sing a little tune that goes, factor times a factor equals a multiple or product. Factor times a factor equals a multiple or product. The product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So this is my first factor, and I want to do my factors of 6. Once again, I keep saying this thing, repeated addition. That's all multiplication is repeated addition. I'm putting my equal sign so I can make an equation. All right, 0. What I'm going to do each time, I'm going to add 6. Each time, I'm going to add 6. Each time, I'm going to add 6. All right, so 6 times 1, anything times 1 would be a 6. Help me understand this. Anything times 0 will be 0. No matter what it is, it's going to be a billion, a zillion times 0, and it always will be 0. All right, so I'm just going to add. Now, I like counting my fingers in a unique, weird way. I like looking at the notches on my fingers right here when I count. So I have, in here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to add it again. What comes after 6? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All I'm doing right now is making my what? Pick and choose chart. What comes after 12? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. What are you doing, Mr. Jones? Hey, this is my multiplication chart. I just call it a pick and choose chart. Why do you call it pick and choose chart, Mr. Jones? I call it pick and choose chart simply because guess what? When I write all of my, have all my products down, guess what? I can pick and choose my answers, whether I'm multiplying 2-digit, 3-digit, 4-digit numbers, or if I'm doing any type of long division, or if I'm doing comparing fractions, or if I'm adding fractions, or subtracting fractions. The basis of them all is what? Multiplication and our pick and choose chart. All right, here we go. What comes after 18? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Comes after 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Comes after 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Hey, folks, I'm not doing anything but doing patterns. You can call it skip counting if you want. You can call it repeated addition, whatever it is. I'm just adding 6 each time. I'm just adding 6. I'm counting on my finger right now, but you can also do it on the board or on your paper. We'll come out to 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. And finally, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. I call it the pick and choose chart. That's what I call it, the pick and choose chart. What's going to happen right here? Now I can go ahead and multiply Daddy's way, which I call the traditional way. And I'm going to go 6 times 3. You're going to go up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. 6 times 3 is 18. Okay? And I'm going to carry my 1 up here, and I'm going to add it, and I'm going to circle it. Now I went up, and now I'm going to go over. 6 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48. Plus 1 should be 49. So my first part is 498. I'm going to cross this out here. I'm going to cross this 6 out here. And I want to put a placeholder here. Because I'm now done with my what? I'm done with my 1's place. And now I'm going to my 10's place. Okay? So now 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 8 is 16, okay? And we're adding, that's 8, 9 plus 6, that's 15, carry my 1. That's 11, carry my 1, and that's 2. So this time, it's 2,158. 2,158. All right, now I'm going to continue, and this time I'm going to do the modified Daddy's way. I'm going to do it the modified Daddy's way, okay? Still working with 83 times 26. The top number is still going to remain 83. So in the modified, I'm going to keep it 83. What I did different this time is I came up here and I did 20 plus 6, okay? I call that expanded notation, okay? That's all this is. This is what? Expanded notation. We've done this before when we talk about place value. So I put the 83 times 20 here plus the 83 times 6. That's all I'm doing. So what I'm going to do right now is I can go here. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. I cross this out here, put a placeholder here. 2 times 3 is 6. 8 times 2 is 16. Mr. Jones, that looks like it was over there. Correct. Once again, this is the traditional way. This is the modified traditional way right here. This is what Daddy taught me. All right. And you add this, and you get 0, 6, 6, 1. And my answer here would be 1,660. I'm not done yet, though. Still not done yet. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do the same thing right here. 6 times 3 is 18. Carry my 1. That's 6 times 8. Oh, that's right here, folks. 48. We just did that. 49. Mr. Jones, sound like you're repeating yourself. I am. Doing the same thing right here. So I'm good. 498, check. 1,660. 1,060, check. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add these two up right here. 1,660, 1,660 plus 498. 8, 15, 11, questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? Excuse me. As you can see, I got the same answer. 2,158, 2,158. This is Daddy's way or traditional way. This is the modified Daddy's way. Third way, we call it the Bojangles Big Box. What's happening right here, I'm going to keep this as expanded form, but for the Bojangles Big Box, we're going to expand this here. 80 plus 3. 80 plus 3. 80 plus 3. $80 plus 3. There we go. All I'm doing, this is called expanded notation. That's all we're doing right now. We're doing expanded notation. And I'm going to bring it over here in my box over here. 80 plus 3. Okay, and I'm going to bring it on this side this time. 20 plus 6. Mr. Jones, last time you put it on the side, it doesn't matter what side you put it on. As long as you have the addition sentence up at the top and an addition sentence going to the side. Questions or concerns for those taking notes? And we do it simply like this. 8 times 2 is 16. How many zeros? 1, 2. Because 80 times 20 is 1,600. That's it, folks. I come here, 8 times 6. That 48 keeps popping up. How many zeros? 1. 3 times 2, 6. 1 0, that's 60. So 20 times 3 is 6. You multiply, then you add. That's what multiplication is. And finally, 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. So now what I have to do is add everything in the box. Add everything in the box. And I'm going to add everything up top this time. I'm going to add everything up top. So that'll be 1,600 or 1,600 plus 60 plus 480 plus 18. And 0 plus 0 is 0 is 8. That's 9 plus 6, which is 15. Carry my 1 up here. 10 plus 1 is 11. Carry my 1 up here. 1 plus 1 should be 2. And I got 2,158. Where that at? Right there. 2,158. So that's what we're talking about tonight. What are we talking about? We're talking about two-digit multiplication. Two-digit multiplication. I've done it 3 ways for us tonight. I've done them right in a row so you can see and compare. Once again, it's going to be your decision to figure out which way is going to be best for you. Okay? Now, you may have another way that your teacher is showing you. Hey, that's fine. If that works for you, great. If one of these is better for you, great. My goal is for you to understand how to do multiplication. Does everybody understand that? That's my goal, for you to learn how to do multiplication and to do it very well and to do it with accuracy. Once again, why is it 3? I can use one to check, and I can use another one to what? Double check. Questions or concerns? I'm going to take a step back real quick. I'm going to take a step back real quick. What do you mean, Mr. Jones? I'm going to do a 2-digit by 1-digit real quick. So you can see that whether you have 2 digits, 1 digit, all of these methods still work. Whether you're doing 2 digits or 1 digit, all of these methods still work. Watch this. $97 times 3. 97 times 3. Doing the traditional way, Daddy's way, 97 times 3. Doing it the modified way, but you don't got to do the modified way because it's only what? 1 digit. If you want to put a 0 there, that's fine. But I will show you the Bojangles big box way. So right now, with this right here, 7 times 3 is 1. Carry my 2 up here. And 9 times 3 is 27, 28, 29. 291. Okay, I want to come back and let's do the Bojangles big box. All right, so I like starting out the Bojangles big box with a window. What I'm going to do here is this. That's right, 90 plus 7. And what's this going to be? There's nothing in the tens place, so that's 0 plus 3. That's it. That's it, folks. And I'm going to come here, 90 plus 7 and 0 plus 3. If you listen to me what I said before, anything times 0 will be 0. So right now, 0 times 90 is a 0. 7 times 0 is a 0. That's it, folks. That's it. All right, let's come down here. 9 times 3 is 27, and I add a 0. And 7 times 3, we know is 21. That look familiar? Yep. So let's add this together. 270 plus 21. One, 0 plus 1 is 1. 7, 8, 9. 291. Questions or concerns? That's it, folks. That's it. This is traditional way. This is a Bojangles big box. Now some of you said, Mr. Jones, why don't you do it the other way? Because it's going to be a 0 at the bottom of here. Why? Because there's a 0 here in the tens place. All right? So that's why I didn't do the traditional, the modified traditional. So that's why we're with that. Questions or concerns? So it works either way. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to our 2-digit by 2-digit. Write this down for me, please. 89 times 56. 89 times 56. 89 times 56. Okay, and this time, since it's a 2-digit by 2-digit, I'm going to go ahead and do what again? I'm going to do all 3 again. What's happening here? I'm going to do Daddy's way, because that's the way his daddy taught him, and that's the way my daddy taught me. And simply put, what are we doing? Go up and over, up and over, up and over. Again, up and over, up and over. All right, that's all we're doing. We're going up and over. All right, 6 times 9. 6 times 9. Hopefully you wrote the other pick and choose chart down. We did our 6s already. 9 times 6 is 4. It's 54. I'm going to carry my 5 up here. 8 times 6, we already said, was 48. 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. I'm done with this. I'm done with my ones place. That's why I crossed this out. And I put a placeholder here for my what? For my ones place. Everybody with me? Now I'm going to go here. 9 times 5 is 5. Carry my 4. And that's going to be 40 plus 4, which should be 44. And what am I going to do? I'm going to add this up. Notice it's not as neat as I wanted it to be, but I have my columns lined up. I have my ones place, my tens place, my hundreds place, and I even have a thousands place this time. So I'm going to do 4, 8, 9, and 4. I'm going to put a comma here, and that should be 4,984. 4,984. All right, now I'm going to do the daddy traditional way right here. What do you mean by that? I'm just going to write this 89 times what we got here. That's going to be 50 plus 6. Hey, don't get upset. All we're doing right now, this is the expanded form of 56. This is the expanded form of 56. What does that mean right here? That's 89 here plus your 89 here. Here we're going to put 50. And here we're going to put 6. All I did was split my place values up. All I did was split my place values up. All right, here we go. Up and over, up and over, up and over. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 8 is also 0. I put a placeholder here. Why? Because in traditional, guess what? Once we finish with our ones place, we go to our tens place. 9 times 5 is 5 here. Carry my 4. Does this look familiar? 40 plus 4 is 44. $4,450. That matches here. That's all we're doing. Now let's go over here. 9 times 6 is 4. Carry my 5. That's 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. Hey, that looks familiar too. So this is this. Once again, these are going across here, which we technically call horizontal. We call it horizontal. But these are kind of going what we call vertical. Hey, whichever you like best, it's entirely up to you. So now, guess what I need to do? I need to add these here. 4,450 plus 534. You already know the answer. Because this is my check, and I'm going to do one more double check. 8, 9, 4. Guess what, folks? 400, 984. The only difference, they're in different colors. They're the exact same number. Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? All right. And, of course, we're going to do the Bojangles Big Box. We're going to do the Bojangles Big Box. What do we do first with the Bojangles Big Box? We draw a big box. That look like a window. Cool. I'm glad it does. But that's how you started with the Bojangles Big Box. Always started with 4 sections. All right. Now what I got to do with this number up here, I got to do the expanded form. Have to do the expanded form of 89. Somebody told me. I hear you. I hear you. You're correct. 80 plus 9. 80 plus 9. So now, all we got to do now is we have to put it in the box. These numbers are going to go on top of the box. So that would be 80 plus 9. What's going on this side? I'm going back over this side. 50 plus 6. And the entire time, guess what I'm doing? I'm checking over my work, make sure I got everything straight. 80 plus 9 is the expanded form of 89. 50 plus 6 is the expanded form of 56. And I'm putting it over here. And I'm asking myself, I'll go here first. 9 times 5 is 45, and I add a 0. Because 9 times 50 is 450. I'm going to come here. 8 times 5 is 40. Add 2 zeros. That's, oh wow. 80 times 50 is 4,000. 8 times 6 is 48. And I add a 0 there. And 9 times 6 is 54. The key thing with this is we have to line our numbers up. We have to line our numbers up. And by lining our numbers up, we're going to come here and do 480 plus 4,000. Ms. Jones, are you putting biggest to smallest? You can if you want to. That's entirely up to you. I'm just putting them up here, making sure that I line up my ones with my ones place, my tens and my tens place, my hundreds in the hundreds place and line up my thousands place. So I did 4,000, 480. I'm going to do 450 right here. And 54. And I'm not subtracting. When we talk about multiplication, we're talking about adding. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 4 is 4. We got 10 plus 8, which is 18. Carry my 1 up here. That's 4 plus 4 plus 1. That's 8, 9. And bring down your 4. Does that look familiar? 4,984. Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? Nothing hard about this at all. Nothing hard about this at all. Okay? All we're doing right now is we're doing 2-digit multiplication. All right? All right. I hear you out there. Ms. Jones, what about if we got 3 digits? I'm going to get to that. I'm going to do one more 2-digit by 2-digit, and then, yes, I will show you how you expand the box. I will do that just for you since you asked. Just for you since you asked. I hear you talking. But let me do one more sample here. If you have any other questions, put them in the box. And if I'm not able to check them now, I'll definitely check them later. For my students that are on, go ahead and put in the chat box real quick that you're here. Say, hey, Mr. Jones. And thank you all for being on. $43 times 67. 43 times 67. I'm in trouble, folks. I don't know my sevens very well. Wink, wink. I don't know my sevens very well. So, of course, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pick and choose chart for my sevens. Simply put, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm putting an X right here. This stands for multiplication. Factor times a factor equals a multiple or product. As I stated before, a product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So I have a factor of 0 multiplied by, I'm going to do my sevens, and I'm going to do my sevens all the way down. Now, what does this mean right here? I'm going to be doing repeated addition with my sevens. I'm going to be doing repeated addition with my sevens. Woo! Anything times 0 equals 0. Please understand that. Please, please, please. Understand anything times 0 will be 0. Because somebody told me, I ain't going to talk about them, but somebody today told me something I can't repeat, that 0 times 7 was anything times 0 is going to be 0. 1 times 7 is 7. All right? Now, you can count up 7 fingers, but 7 times 2 is 14. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 7 is 28. 35. All I'm doing is adding 7. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 41, 42. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Yes. 49ers, baby, the 49ers. And here comes my favorite multiplication fact. Woo! 8 times 7 is 56. Let's check it. 49. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. And then you got 63. 8 times 7 is my favorite multiplication fact. 8 times 7 is 56. That's my favorite multiplication fact. Now, I can now do Daddy's way. I can now do the traditional way. 7 times 3 is 1. Carry my 2. And that would be 7 times 4. We said that was 28, 29, 30. Cross the 7 out, do a placeholder. I didn't do my 6s. Why? Because we already did our 6s. 6 times 3 is 18. Cross this out, carry my 1 this time. That's 24, 25. And I'm going to add these together. That's 1, that's 8, 8. Oh, wow. 2,881. I didn't say and. 2,881. The only time I would say and if I said 2,881 and then I will talk about a decimal. But we ain't going to get into that tonight. So right now, this is Daddy's way. I'm going to do modified Daddy's way now. All right, so what do I need to do? Well, I done messed that up. Let me come back over here. 43, 67. Expanded form says 40 plus 3. Expanded form says 60 plus 7. All we're doing is what? Expanded form. All right? But I'm going to erase this part right here because when it comes to the modified Daddy's way, we're just going to go 43 times 60 plus 43 times 7. And once again, just like Daddy's way, all right, we go up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. I'm done with this. I put a placeholder here. 6 times 3 is 18. Carry my 1, 24, 25. Does that look familiar? 0, 8, 2, 5. 2,580. That's what we have in our second section. What does this mean over here, Mr. Jones? 7 times 3 is 1. Carry my 2. That's 28, 29, 30. Oops, my work is checking out. So now I have 301 plus 2,580. 2,580 plus 301. 1,882. 2,881. Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? All right, and I'm going to come back here and put my 40 plus 3 here. This is my other what? Expanded form. That's my other expanded form. And the last way I'm going to do it would be the Bojangles Big Box. Let's do the Bojangles Big Box. And of course, how does the box go? Mr. Jones, look more like a window. Hey, you call it what you call it. I call it what I call it. Who's that looking in the window? All right, whatever window, whatever you want it to be, it's all up to you. All right, looking through my window. All right, but the key thing is this right here. The 40 plus the 3, 43. And the 60 plus the 7. I just happen to like chicken. So that's why I call it Bojangles Big Box. Plus, if you go to Bojangles, you can actually get a Bojangles Big Box. And you can look down in the box and they got everything separated for you. So that's what I see when I see this right here. If you see the window, hey. All right. I'm going to start here. 3 times 7 is 21. Mr. Jones, you start in a different place each time. It doesn't matter where you start, as long as you start. Okay, I can go here. 7 times 4 is 28. Add a 0. I can go here. 6 times 4 is 24. Add 2 zeros. 6 times 3 is 18. And add 1 0. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add. All right, 2400 plus 180 plus 280 plus 21. What are we doing? We're adding these numbers together. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 1. I got 16, 17, 18. Carry my 1 up here. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, there we go. 2,881. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is, folks. 2,881. Once again, I've shown you tonight 3 different ways to multiply. I'm showing you the traditional way, up and over, up and over, up and over, or I call it Daddy's way. Why? Because that's the way my daddy taught me, and that's the way his daddy taught him. Then I have a modified traditional way, or modified Daddy's way. Well, all I did was I separated this into this right here. So these two are roughly the same way. It just depends on how you split your place value at the end or the beginning. If you want it at the end, it's at the end. If you want the beginning, that's at the beginning. That's entirely up to you. And the final way, I call it the Bojangles Big Box. Whichever way you like, that's the way it's going to be.